Hello, everybody. Once again, I'm privileged to be here, and this time I'm here with my good friend Ernie Zuniga.
Hello, sir.
Really glad you were able to make it. Today is going to be a little bit different because it's a little bit of a script flip with we talked about just a few minutes ago, in that I've been privileged to be on your show, being interviewed by you, as it were, and talking about things about my business. But because you become a client of mine, having used my services a number of times, I'd like to kind of turn the tables and interview you and allow you to speak to your RCLLC experiences, what those entailed, what your impression was, why you never called me again. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But just in your own words, Ernie, what was it like to experience what RCLLC has to offer?
This is slightly awkward for me because I'm not used to being on the receiving end of questions, but in this case, I'll make an exception because I have thoroughly enjoyed the RCLLC experience. I think the first time was at the Valero Texas Open when I went, and Dwayne, of course, picked me up, was early as he told me he would be, delivered on everything. And I just remember sitting there in that horrific traffic on 1604 going toward the Stone Oak area and the TPC, thinking to myself, thank goodness, it's nice to be able to sit back and relax in this spacious vehicle and not be behind the wheel in this notoriously bad traffic. But no, a fantastic experience. If I wasn't such a boring person and I went out more often, I would call you more often. But I'm lacking in the social life department probably compared to some of your other clients. But it's nice to know that if and when I need something like that, you are definitely available.
I'm here for you.
Yes.
I can maybe introduce you to some friends, and we can enhance your social life, perhaps.
But that would be
RCLC is
an extra service that Dwayne provides. Improve my social life.
Bring people closer together. So there was, as you said, the Valero event that you went to. And then there was something that was a little bit more personal in nature because of some people that are very, very close to you and a very significant event that was happening in their life.
Yeah, sure. So last summer, two of my closest friends, the Salinas', their daughter got married downtown. We happen to live in the same neighborhood, and so it just worked out where they were able to bring you on to get the wedding party. And I know there were a lot of flowers and maybe confetti and other things that one would expect to see at a fabulous wedding. But no, picked us up at the Salinas home, drove us downtown for the wedding. We did our wedding thing, and then at the end of the night, after we were cleaning up, there you were, right on, Dwayne on the spot to pick us up and drop us right back off at the Salinas house, and it was an unforgettable night and day all around.
Yeah, so you say unforgettable. Let's not gloss that over.
Yes.
So you talked about, the things that accompany a wedding and a really, really nice reception. Right. So there was a sea of flower petals.
Yes, there were.
In the van. And when we got to the drop-off point, and I took one look at that, and I'm like, dear Lord, what's going to happen to me tomorrow morning?
Right.
But I do want to say that your friends and family stepped up because I see a vacuum cleaner come out, and I see dustpans. And
the bride's brother, I remember, came out with a little mini vac and was, now, I must say, the vehicle smelled fantastic. It was just hundreds of live flowers in there. But yes, to his credit, he came out because I know we looked. I think it was like 1 a.m, and we were getting out after a long wedding day, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's full. So he came out, vacuumed, I think most of them up.
Yeah,
and we left the van presentable, maybe not pristine, but for sure presentable. And everybody had nothing but high things and praise to say about the whole experience.
Well, I praise the group of your friends because it was more than just suitable. I went to the next morning, in daylight, expecting to have to do a follow-up. And I'm looking going, well, there's really not much left because he was quite thorough. So
we were hustling there. I mean, you want to do, what do they say, leave things nicer than the way you found them. I mean, that's the idea. Yeah. So
well, maybe I threatened them along the way or something. I don't know.
Maybe the threat works, but nonetheless, no, it was a positive experience all around. Yeah.
And then finally, I guess the most recent experience, you and I've been a business associate of yours. What was that event? It was over there at Fort Sam.
So it was another just unforgettable night. All of the living Medal of Honor recipients from around the country were invited to come to San Antonio and be celebrated. And so there was a ceremony at Fort Sam, Houston. And I think maybe it was a dozen or so that ultimately made it because it was a very hot day at Fort Sam. And it was you're just in awe. And so you picked us up, I think on the east side of town, and took us to Fort Sam, Houston, and dropped us off there. But that was just an unbelievable night of celebrating these unbelievable military heroes, quite literally on the grounds of Fort Sam, with the military leadership there, local dignitaries, and it was I think around Fiesta time, if I'm not mistaken, or not too far away from Fiesta, and so just a great party atmosphere. But ultimately there to celebrate these unbelievable. I mean, it's really surreal and an honor to be in the presence of. I mean, everywhere you look, there's a Medal of Honor recipient, each one with their own unbelievable story of heroism and things that I can't even fathom in the middle of a war zone. And these men, were given the Medal of Honor. So it was really cool to have a bunch of them together in one place.
Right. I appreciated being able to be there to pick you guys up and drop you off because it evokes some fond memories of my own. My father, who was a military man, his last assignment, although he was Air Force, was at Fort Sam.
Yeah.
He was a military science instructor in a building not that far from where I picked you guys up and dropped you off. So that was kind of cool to be there and be reminded of that time in my life as well.
Yeah, and I did not serve. I'm not, I wasn't in the military. So anytime I get a chance to go to Fort Sam or be on the grounds there, it really is humbling and honor. It's an honor. And that was, again, a great night.
I agree. Well, again, Ernie, thank you for being willing to share your RCLLC experiences with the audience out there, and look forward to the next opportunity that comes up where I can be of use and maybe make your travel less stressful, not only with the traffic and parking and all the other things you get to avoid when you. What's your tagline you made for me? Let Dwayne do the driving?
Let Dwayne do the driving. I love alliteration and everything. And I guess I would just close by saying this. I mean, San Antonio is known for construction, and probably for the rest of our lives we'll experience some kind of construction in San Antonio. What I always tell people when I'm talking to them about you is the peace of mind, especially if you decide to indulge and have an adult beverage or whatever the case may be, that peace of mind of knowing that your ride is taken care of. Don't worry about the keys. Those kinds of things that unfortunately we see too often in San Antonio coming up on the bad end. To have something like that, and just to elevate your experience when you're going to these events, or to take maybe an average date night and really elevate it and turn it into something nice is super cool. So I love what you do, and I'm happy to support.
Okay, well, can't thank you enough.
Right back at you, sir.